House of the Dragon Season 2 will bring back the Starks in a significant way, including an important part of the house's history last seen in Game of Thrones Season 4. The Starks were the defining house in the HBO show, even by the time of Game of Thrones ending, but it's a different story in the prequel. They barely even registered in Season 1, which just included Lord Rickon Stark pledging his allegiance to Princess Rhaenyra as King Viserys' heir, but that's about to change. Cregan Stark will be introduced in House of the Dragon Season 2, playing what will likely be a small yet crucial part in Jacaerys Valerian story. Based on what happens in George R.R. Martin's book, Fire and Blood, Cregan will lend the support of Winterfell and the North to the Black's cause. That will help with Rhaenyra's war effort, but there's enough part of Cregan's introduction that will be interesting for Game of Thrones fans. Cregan Stark will wield Ice, Ned Stark's sword, in House of the Dragon. The Valyrian steel sword was destroyed in Game of Thrones Season 4. As the Lord of Winterfell in House of the Dragon, Cregan Stark will wield Ice in the show. The ancestral sword of House Stark ended up with Ned by the time of Game of Thrones. Ice plays a crucial role in Season 1 of that show, starting from the very first episode, where Ned not only beheads a Night's Watch deserter, but establishes his rule that the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. Ice's biggest role, though, is to be used against the Lord of Winterfell, with Eiland Payne using it to cut Ned's head off. Ice was eventually melted down and reforged into two smaller Valyrian steel swords in Game of Thrones Season 4, Oathbreaker, wielded by Brienne of Tarth, and Widow's Wail, given to Joffrey Baratheon and later used by Jaime Lannister. Thanks to House of the Dragon, though, the weapon will return with Cregan. The sword may not see too much action in Season 2, as Cregan himself will likely stay in the north for now. In the book, he makes his move south a lot later in the Dance of the Dragons. When he does eventually reach King's Landing at the end of the war, Cregan will ensure Ice is put to good use. He will sentence several people to either die or take the Black and join the Night's Watch and, as history tells it, kill at least two. One of those, Ser Giles Belgrave, has yet to be introduced in House of the Dragon. The other, though, will not only be familiar, but will give Ice its most satisfying moment yet, the execution of Larys Strong.